So now we're back with another video, and I thought I do like some kind of search to this block so we can actually go ahead and do this function. It's a function that's important in every web portal or any blog for that matter. So we need to go ahead for this one and do some kind of research, and we're gonna do an input. We're gonna write in our own, we're gonna paste in our own bootstrap or HTML code down here, and we're gonna go ahead and process our own code with PHP. All right, so if we go down here, if we go ahead to includes and we go to navbar.php, you need to go ahead after the URL and paste this code that you are going to find. I'm gonna leave this at the resources file. Just go ahead and look it up, and you can see down here is just a simple div, and we have the div, some kind of div inside it. All right, and we have some kind of form with a method, attribute, and action, of course, and we have some kind of input down here, and that's all. The input has a name of search and a type of search. These are like the most important things down over here, and we're not gonna have a button or anything. We're just gonna allow the user, after he writes something in the input, to click enter, and he's gonna go ahead and search for posts inside our own website. All right, so that's basically it for the navbar. We actually need to go ahead and type our own method, which is of course going to be post, and the action, it's going to be some kind of search.php file. This is going to be like the file that we are going to link in, and we are going to go search.php, and we are going to save this whole thing, and we actually go ahead and we're actually going to keep it in the root folder. So we're gonna in the clean dash block. So we're gonna go ahead and search.php. so if we actually, let's go ahead and just do some kind of test. So we're gonna go ahead after the user clicks enter, and after he types something in the form, we need to go to this search.php form. So let's see if something is wrong or not. So if we actually refresh this, you can see that we got our own search down here. Now let's go and write in search any type of word, and let's go new. You can actually say that we got down here, or we processed our own page, which is search.php, and we got our own the word hello that we actually typed in our own file. All right, so let's go ahead now and process our own logic. So if we go ahead to search.php, and we can actually go ahead now to index, and we can grab a couple of codes. If we copy all of this, because we're going to need the config file, and of course we're going to need the design for the header and stuff like that. And if we go ahead and take this, and we're going to link to our own folder. All right, so you can go ahead now and start processing our own logic. So if we look up over here once more at the includes, includes navbar.php, if we can say down here, we have a form. We want the user, when he clicks or when he presses enter, we want to go to this file down over here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to check for some kind of any data down here that's going through this input, okay, with the name search. So what we're going to do is we're going to go if is set, and we're going to of course go for the post super global, because we're checking something in the form. It's going to go search because it has a search name. So if we're saying if something happens to this form, any kind of press on it, any kind of data, we want to go ahead now and get with our own logic. And of course we're going to check if the input is empty or not. So we're going to say if post search is identical to if it's identical to nothing, we want to go ahead and grab we're going to go ahead and write in some kind of alert. We can go echo dev class alert dash danger, okay, bg danger, text white, and we can go also text center. Right now we can close this and write our own text. Maybe we'll say enter data or search keyword first. Alright, so if we close the dev and we close all of this, and now we're saying if the input is not empty, else. Let's go ahead and actually do something. So we can go and take the data that the user actually give us, and we can save it inside our own variable, which is search. And now we can do our own query, and for the query we can go search. Well, let's not keep it search, maybe we'll go ahead and write in data. That's fine. And now we're gonna go for the connection, you know, and this is going to be query select all from posts, which is the table that we're searching in, where title like and percentage sign and our own data and another percentage sign, and we're going to close this just like that. So yeah, there is a couple of weird things, you know, and I did not like explain anything, but I'm going to explain it now. So we're saying select all from post, and this to here till here, everything is fine, everything is familiar, right? So we're saying where title like this is down this down here, this is like weird thing. So basically we need to search for a string, right? We need to search for something inside our own string, inside our own data down here in the title column. So in order to do this, we need to go ahead and use the like keyword. All right, and the like keyword is used with where. All right, so for now that makes sense. Okay, we need to use the like keyword in order to search for something inside a string, which is inside our column title down over here. And we're saying down over here this percentage sign, which is a wildcard, and basically wildcards are some kind of signs that we can use to search inside a string, and this sign refers down here to a 1 character or to a 0 character or more. And we have our own data and we have the percentage sign. So if you don't understand it, just focus, okay, and like pay attention to this. Here we're saying that we need this, we need any kind of data that's like and before this kind of data we need any number or any kind of characters down here, and after it we need any kind of characters. And if you don't understand anything till now, you can go ahead and I'm gonna explain a little more. We can say wildcards in SQL. You just type this. Let's go to the W3 schools, to this link down over here, and we can say some kind of explanation down here, the wildcard characters, and the wildcard is used to substitute one or more characters in a string, which is mean to search for something inside a string, which is what we're doing down here, and that's what we're doing in this video. And it says down here, wildcards are used with the like operator down here, and the like operator is used only in a where clause, and that's of course what we did to search for a specified pattern in a column, which is just a string. And we can see down here that we have some kind of wildcards. We have the asterisk, we have this sign, and we have the hashtag sign, and we have exclamation sign, and we have the dash. But we're using down here, we actually need to grab this symbol down over here, which represents 0 or more characters. All right, and we have a bunch of other signs down over here. I want like to grab some kind of example, and let's grab this example down here, which will select all the customers with a city. It says down here, select all from customers where city is like this pattern down here. So it says select all from customers where the city, where the column city contains strings that start with this BER, and it's followed by any kind of characters. So this is basically the pattern. We're saying, if we look down here, if we run the SQL, we can say that in the city column that we are selecting down here, you can see that we got every possible string that we have that starts with BER down here. So you can see all of them are starting with BER, and it's followed by some kind of other characters, whatever those characters are. All right, and if we put this down here, which is the percentage sign, it says select this pattern from the column city, that select any kind of string in the column in the city column that's actually has any kind of structure, any kind of characters, but after it has the BER, and after the BER it contains any kind of, you know, any kind of characters or any number of characters down here. And of course, if we run this, this is not the right example. We have some kind of other example down over here. So for this example, it selects all customers with a city containing this pattern, which is ES only. All right, so we say try it yourself, and we can say, if we run SQL, we can say in the city that's selecting every possible string or every possible data that we have, and it contains EN in the middle, and before the EN it contains any kind of characters, and after the EN it contains any kind of characters. So if you look up over here, you can see that it's actually selecting those guys. Sorry, it was actually ES. All right, so basically it was ES, which is down over here. All right, so basically it's selecting the ES, and because like they don't have any kind of data down here, that's okay too, because this represents like any kind of characters or no characters at all. So you can see that down here it selects every possible data that ends with ES. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So if we go down here, if we go down over here, we can actually grab this, and I'm gonna explain a little more. And if you're tired of me, you can just like skip like a couple of seconds or a minute from this video. So basically we have our own query down here. I just need to make sure that you understand everything. And if we actually, oh, not this, you know, we need the clean block database. Let's copy this. Yeah. So basically we're gonna search for posts. Let's go to SQL so we can try a little live example. So we have post 2 down here. Let's not care about this for a minute, and we're searching for the title. So basically, if we searched for post down here, let's see what we got. If we can go, well, let's not say post, maybe we can say OS. All right, and if we can say OS, and if we go, you can see that's giving us every data that we have, because it contains the word post, and the word post has this OS in the middle. So basically, before the OS we have a certain number of characters, or any number of any characters, and we have after it any number of characters. All right, and that only makes sense because we did this down over here. We're saying the percentage sign at first, and the percentage sign after the string that we're giving. Let's say we're gonna go for the st, which is the last 2 characters of the word post. Let's go. Can say that's actually giving us the same data, because of course it represents, it has some characters before it, which is the PO, and it has 0 characters after it, because this sign represents like any number of characters or 0 characters. So I hope that made sense for you. And now we can go ahead and go back to our own code. I know this is like kind of boring because I explained it too much, but I want to make sure that you actually understand everything. And if you don't understand anything, or just go ahead and write an email for me, or just type in the QA section. All right, so after that we need to go ahead and execute this, and after this one we need to go ahead and fetch it. Can call this rows, fetch all, because we're gonna get more than one result. We're gonna say fetch underscore obj, which is just an object. All right, so now after that I'm not gonna go ahead, you know, and type in everything or actually display the data right away. I want to do a row count. So basically I want to say if we actually have any data that's coming from this statement down here, we want to go ahead and display it. And if not, we're gonna go ahead and display like an alert or something, and we're gonna tell it that we actually don't have any research for this specific pattern or string that you're giving us. So we're gonna go if data row count which is equal to 0, we're gonna go ahead and actually, let's pick this up. Okay, maybe I will say no searches with this post for now. All right, so basically that what we have down over here. So if the row count is actually, we forgot this, if the row count with the number of results that's coming from the data down here is equal to 0, we need to display this. And if you don't know anything about the row count function, it's basically a function that returns you know, a number of values that's affected by this query. So basically this query will return a certain number down here that's based on the tables, or sorry, the rows that's been edited, updated, created or that's been manipulated or actually selected. So we are going to take this value and we are going to execute it with the row count. This is what the row count does. It basically executes the number of results that's coming from a query down over here. So we're saying if it's 0, that means that we actually don't have anything. Okay, so it returns a number, and if we don't have anything, we are gonna display this alert. Okay, otherwise we need to go down over here and now go ahead and grab some HTML, which is from the posts. Now from the post we can go ahead to the index right away, and we are gonna go, maybe we will, let's see what we have. We actually just need this down over here. You can grab this. Okay, so it's looking great. And let's say if we have anything wrong, maybe we'll grab the row also. So we need to go ahead and just paste this in. Let's customize it a bit, and we are gonna say it's actually, it says rows down here in the fetch. We're gonna say as row, and we need to go ahead. All right, and we need to go to this link down here, which is the link for the posts, and for post.php post ID and the row ID, okay, which is the first column that we're getting. And for the title, we're gonna get the title, and for the subtitle, we're gonna get the subtitle. It's basically gonna display just like this one down here. All right, and for this down here, we're gonna say posted by, and the name of the username, which is actually down here, okay, in this table. And we are gonna grab the date, which is created at down here. So basically everything is done for us. Okay, it's similar to our own posts down here in the index. Okay, because we're actually getting everything in the index as we're actually doing down here. So let's save and let's see what we got. If we got anything wrong, we are gonna fix it right away. If we save all of this and refresh this, let's go back and actually search for something. Let's say what we have, post. Well, let's go ahead and press enter. We're actually getting every possible post that we are having, but of course we don't need to get all of this. We only need to get our own posts that are activated. All right, but we are, we can do this later. We're just, for now, we are testing this search functionality. Let's go ahead and maybe write in, let's write in something that's actually is not there. So if we look at our own data down here, it has post 12, post 1, post 2, post 3, and post 4. Let's go ahead and type something that it's not in the database, or it's not in the title. Maybe nice title, just a little symbol thing. And if we click down here, you can say that we actually got our own alert that we actually did down here, because we don't have any kind of data or any kind of title with this post down here, which is nice title. All right, so if we go and write in 2, and if we go, you can see that we got post 2 down here, and from our own database, which is actually down over here. If we go ahead and write in post 1, you can see that we got post 1, and this is how it basically works. Of course, this pattern down here or this query is like the simplest valid query that you can ever write. Okay, it gets very complicated when you do a search function on your website. This is the simplest thing that we can go for in this video, not just to make it too long. All right, so let's go ahead now and select all from posts where title like, and we can actually say and we'll look down here and status is equal to 1. So we're saying if it's activated or not, and we're actually getting the activated ones. And if we save all of this, and let's say if something is wrong or not, and let's say where's the activated ones, we only have post store that's activated. So if we go ahead and post 1, you can say that we're actually getting no searches, because of course the post one down here is not activated. If we actually go ahead and activate it, and if we go back, let's refresh this whole thing. If we go back and say post 1, if we click, we're actually getting our own post down here. So it will search only in the activated posts, okay, which is what we did down over here. Of course you can customize this however you want. All right, so let's do another example. We have now like 2 posts that are activated. If we go back to the home, you can see we have post 1 and post 2. If we search for a deactivated post once more, we got only post 1 and post 2 that's are activated down here. Let's search for post 3. Post 3. Let's say, and you can say down here that says no search with this post for now, and that's clearly what we need. All right, so we can customize this however you want, whatever you want. And this is actually it for this video, because it's getting too long, and see you on the next videos.